Hey guys, welcome back once again to the hillside. We are here in the plant room today, and I want to give you guys a tour of my 5 most favorite peperomias. All right, so peperomias are a great plant. They're a fantastic house plant. They're super easy to propagate. New video coming up on that shortly. But for today, I just want to give you guys a nice look at my 5 most favorite peperomias. All right, so these are in no particular order, but this is the first one, Peperomia serpens, also called the vining peperomia. But just look at this thing, guys. This thing is crazy. It's taken off. This is just an all-around neat plant. The leaves are, just like all peperomias, are semi-succulent. So you make sure that you don't really want to overwater this guy. But yeah, kind of slacked off on the structure of this, so it's kind of flopping everywhere. I need to kind of do a better job of picking this up and getting it attached to something. But you can grow this as a hanging plant. It'll vine down. I may try to do that, I don't know. But anyhow, this is a cool peperomia, Peperomia serpens, or the vining peperomia. All right, so the second peperomia is the ripple peperomia. Now this guy I just got very recently, so it's very small. Peperomias in general can be a little pricey depending if you get some more of the big box store type plants. This one I did have to order from online, as you really don't see this particular variety in the stores. So anyways, this peperomia, and all peperomias generally are from Central America, even to South America, and some varieties are actually found in Asia in the tropical regions. So with this plant, like I said, you don't want to really overwater it, and keep it in a nice sunny location. They do like a lot of sun, maybe some bright indirect light. You don't really want these in the shade, so they don't make a great plant for, say, in your office or in a darker room, like you would put a philodendron or another type of plant that is actually more adapted and actually does better in a low light situation. So this is not that plant for that situation. But anyhow, yeah, this is a great plant. I mean, the coloration on these leaves is really what sells it for me. I really like that. That is a really neat patterning. I like that a lot. And you'll see that with a lot of peperomias. Their leaves, are just what you're actually getting them for. They do flower, and I can show you an example of a peperomia flower. They're really not spectacular. They're really kind of a nuisance, honestly. So they don't make, it's not a beautiful plant. So you're really growing these plants for the leaves. So definitely check out this one for the variety of leaf. It's what's gonna give you the most enjoyment overall. All right, so next up, this is the Peperomia Hope. Okay, now it almost looks a little bit like a jade plant, and I think it's actually called the false jade peperomia in some places. But these leaves are very, very thick. They're very waxy, and like I said, this is more of a succulent variety. As you can tell, it's designed to just trail down rocks and places like that where it would be naturally found. So the succulent, nature of those plants can help it endure periods without water. As with all succulent plants, don't overwater it. Keep it in nice, loose soil. It does not need to sit in damp, soggy conditions, as that will kill your peperomia very, very quickly. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if that's a new leaf coming out, or maybe that might be the start of a flower, as it doesn't really look like any of the other leaves on the plant. So time will tell. But anyways, this is a great plant. It's in this little hanging container here in the window. It gets basically bright sunlight, and it does very, very well with this environment that it's growing in. And once again, like I mentioned, don't put this in a nice, dark, shady area. It's not going to do well. If you see the internodes between the leaves start getting really long and spread out, that can be a sign that there's not enough light for your plant. So you need to find a better place with more light, and this plant will do just fine with very little care. I fertilize these guys maybe once every month, maybe every 2 months, with a very, very, very diluted down all-purpose kind of organic plant food, and that's all it really takes. Peperomias, so easy to grow. They're just amazing. So let's go ahead and check out the number 4 on this tour. All right, so this plant you probably recognize, okay? So this is one of the more common peperomias. This is the watermelon peperomia. As you can tell from the leaves, looks similar to a watermelon rind, and it also has these nice dark purple stems, which is really cool. This plant is really readily available at your big box stores, so you probably have seen this one before. And like I mentioned before, Peperomias, it is the leaves. The leaves are what sells it. So the overall leaf is beautiful, right? But like I mentioned, let me show you here. This is an example. These are the Peperomia flowers. Now, much like a philodendron or some other kind of other house plants you have, they're not going to flower indoors because they need a really, really tropical environment. Now, Peperomias, they're going to flower all the time. And these really don't do much. You're not going to grow them from seed. You're not going to really do that. They propagate so easily from leaf cuttings and just divisions, which I will be showing you in my future propagating Peperomias video coming up very soon. So check back for that one. It would not hurt if you wanted to just go through and cut all these flowers off. It's not going to hurt the plant at all. Like I said, it's just pretty much nonstop flowers, but you know what? That means that's a good thing. It means the plant's happy. This one just broke off, but there you go. Right on cue. But anyways, this plant, like I said, is beautiful. It's amazing. And let's go ahead and get to my #1 favorite Peperomia that I have. All right, so this is what you waited for. #1, this is the false rubber tree, not the actual Indian rubber tree. Okay, this is the actual Ficus elastica, the Indian rubber tree. This is the American rubber tree or the false rubber tree. It's called several different things, but these leaves, once again, these leaves are awesome, okay? Now this started from just a little cutting. It had 2 leaves on it when I bought a little node cutting, which I think I've seen these in big box stores more commonly now. Not as much as the watermelon Peperomia, but this is a very good plant to start with. This started from just a little bit of a cutting, and it's grown quite well. And I've actually went through and cut this back because it starts getting really long. And I can show you an example of what it looks like when it gets really long and out of control. Okay, so this specimen I also got at the same time as the one I'm holding and I just showed you. This is what happens if you don't prune these back or cut them back or pinch them out, whatever you want to call it. They're just going to continuously grow a long singular stem into a plant that's going to be about 1.5 to 2 feet tall at the most. And yeah, so what I did with this one over here, like I mentioned, is I cut the tips of these back, and I've actually propagated many plants from this mother stock plant. But look, see this? It started to put on side shoots, more branching has occurred. It's not just a singular stem, so I would encourage you, I think it was cut like right here, and these branches are coming out of the cut point. You see where it kind of divides into 2 or 3 there. So yeah, while it's not an actual bonsai plant, I'm not trying to bonsai this rubber tree, or false rubber tree, I should say, not that rubber tree. But yeah, this plant, like I said, propagates super easy. The coloration on it is amazing. Cut it back so you don't get a long, just singular stemmed plant. And overall, this is just fantastic, okay? So hope you like this little tour of the hillside Peperomias. Hopefully maybe give you some ideas of something you might want to add to your collection. So go ahead and leave me a comment down below what your favorite Peperomia was from this tour, or if you have one that's even in your collection that I don't have, let me know about it and tell me how awesome it is, because I might add it to my collection as well. All right, guys, so from the plant room here at the hillside, thanks for watching this little Peperomia tour. I'll see you next time. You guys be good. Go grow something. All right, then. Bye-bye.